and thank you and welcome for attending another edition of 100 Days of Consciousness. I am Gabrielle, and here's your lovely hostess or host, which would be proper, Anastasia Christine of chakrareader.com. How are you doing today, Anastasia?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Gab?
I'm doing great. I'm going to turn you down a little bit here. So, tell me how you're doing on your 100 days. This is day 11.
Today is day 11. I feel I'm doing really good. I want to say that I feel like each day I get into, I'll say I get in touch with a different part of myself that I really wanted to work on or look at. And it's not necessarily like definitely when I'm doing my meditations, I feel great, but it'll be throughout my day. Something will come up, and maybe it's something that I haven't necessarily brought consciousness to, but somewhere deep within the recesses of my soul I had wanted to. So that'll come up for me, and that does really feel good. And I think I can honestly say that I feel a difference in generally speaking. And I want to say with my health, I definitely am feeling it.
Well, good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's good. Tomorrow I have worked out some, but not like I should because I have an insanity issue with my schedule. But starting tomorrow, I'm gonna set my alarm clock for 6 in the morning, and I'm gonna go to the gym and start my day at the gym, then in meditation because for me, I meditate anyhow, anywhere from 2 to 4 times a day. And when I say I meditate, people, that doesn't mean that I sit in a lotus pose and hum or om for half an hour. That's not how it works for me. I say a quick prayer, and because praying is a conversation with God, your higher self, source, whatever your belief system is. And then I listen for just a couple of minutes, 1 to 3 minutes. That's all it takes. And so I'm going to continue with that. My eating, I'd love to tell you I'm doing 90-10 like you are, but I would say I'm doing about 60-40, and I'm going to try to take that up to 80-20. And when we say 80-20 or 90-10, we're talking about organic. For brunch today, I had a vegetable plate at Cracker Barrel.
I had oatmeal for breakfast with some yogurt. I had some yogurt with some fresh berries mixed in, which I love. And then I had rice with tomatoes from the garden cut up for my lunch. So that was wonderful. And then I had a salad for supper.
Really? Do you eat white rice or is it brown rice, or what kind of rice do you eat?
I like brown basmati rice.
Really?
Yeah, and I have a rice cooker, so it makes it really easy. Like you rinse your rice because that's what you have to do with basmati rice, and then it's really simple because with basmati rice you put like 2 to 1 for water to rice. So if you're going to make like a quarter cup of rice, you would use like a half a cup of water.
All right, let's start with some of the questions. One of the questions I wanted to address was somebody wrote and wanted to know when these were. Well, we haven't even really advertised these because we wanted to work out all the bugs with vlogging. But they're always on Sunday at noon. Now, Anastasia is in the eye of a storm, a tropical storm, this Sunday, but she's thinking positive. She thinks she's going to be able to make it. If not, I'll do it alone. And then we're doing it, the second one, usually, if we can do it together, we'll do it together. If not, we'll do them alone. On top of that, I'm posting exercises, and I want to put a bug in your ear and remind you to do that one with the rods I asked you to do.
Yes, I have to get that together to do.
Yeah.
I have the rods. They're homemade, but yes.
So we did the first one that I posted on the law of attraction was just us counting certain colors of cars that we were attracting to ourselves. So that's exercise 1. Exercise 2 was attracting positive people to us. And I've just posted exercise 3, and you guys have asked tons of questions about all the exercises. And exercise 3 is attracting a certain person to you. Now that versus exercise 2 is positive people. That would be like groups of people, to attract to you. Exercise 3 is a certain person to you, whether this is a mate, a spouse, or it could be like a teacher, a mentor, it could be a babysitter, it could be a nanny, it could be a lot of things, a gardener that you're needing, but it would be a certain person. and you meditate on that. That takes a little longer usually than 3 days. It just depends on you and the universe. But I would say give it somewhere between 3 to as long as 12 weeks. But usually you start seeing something in about 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say Anastasia?
I would say anytime, like I find with manifesting, and I find right now, and I've had this conversation. Actually, I just had this conversation recently, and I've noticed the more conscious you become, the faster you will attract in whatever you're trying to manifest.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what you've noticed, Gab, but I find like not necessarily a person, because that seems about right to me. But I find a lot of things are almost manifesting like instantaneously, like whether it's, I need some help with this, and then the phone will ring and there it is.
I think there's a quickening going on,
Yeah.
and for those that are aware of it, it's working really, really well. That is what I. Now you had a question. What did you want to address that somebody asked?
Oh, Janie had asked me, and it seems to be a really, really big question. She had asked on Facebook, how do we know if we've attracted something in through love or through fear? Because a lot of times fear doesn't necessarily even come across to us as fear. And I'll just use the example of, like, say, a job, like I said before. Like, let's say we take a job because it's available, but we may be manifesting it out of fear because we're taking it because we're so afraid that we're not going to get the job we want. So to me, how you feel and how it resonates when you get in your quietest moments will tell you whether it's through love or fear. Like if it was being afraid of not having, or to me that's a fear. I don't know. To me, if it's not feeling good when we really get quiet with this in our soul, then we should know that we've manifested, whether it be a job, a situation, a person, out of a fear.
And I want to apologize for people watching. I just blew a light. One just popped.
You
I
just
just
what?
blew a light. So if I'm sitting here in the dark, or it looks a little darker than it should, because I was sitting here looking at my lighting, and I just blew a light overhead. So we'll just keep rolling, just like I didn't blow a light. They see me looking up. I'm like, what was that pop? So another question people asked me was, what cameras were we using? I'm using a Logitech, the new one. I think it's like a C20 or something like that. And you are using what, your laptop?
Yeah, I'm just using my laptop, and if you're wondering why I'm looking sideways, it's because we're having some technical difficulties with Skype, and I can only see Gab if I have two computers, so I'm looking at the other computer.
And that's what I said, because she's in another country, so we're kind of working out the kinks on things like that. We've had a lot of questions about manifestation and how to do this and how to do that, and comments about why 100 days. We're constantly getting that comment. Some people just seem to have a problem with that. But if you didn't want to do it 100 days, you could do it 30 days. You could do it 60 days. You could do it 45 days, 50 days. If you wanted to take it up the next step, you could go 200 days. Now, that was a good question. Somebody wanted to know what was next after 100 days. Well, I think Anastasia addressed that pretty well, but it's kind of like to get you in a pattern, because 100 days of consciousness is really about being conscious about what you eat, what you think. That's what the exercises are that I've been doing, what comes out of your mouth, what you say, and it's really just about those things. So we're hoping that after 100 days that this becomes a pattern for us, and then you don't have to be so conscious about doing it, because it is in your subconscious and you do it naturally. When you say, Anastasia?
I actually want to add to that too, and I find, like, in Gab, I think you probably find this too in our work, or even just with ourselves or our family. We can't have a tendency in society to be very negative with ourselves and those around us, and that sort of inner voice that talks to us can be an extremely negative voice, even if we're unaware that it's negative. Like, oh, that's not going to work out, or that's not going to go well for me, or we tend to always flip the negative, and I find by being conscious, we can turn that thought around, and since everything is a vibratory thought process, that's where everything starts. If we start turning that inner voice around, and we start turning that talk that we have, that chatter that goes on in our mind all the time, and we can get quiet and be positive, I think it goes a long way to making that positive change in our life.
Now, for those people that are counting, I'm not going to do it this Friday because I actually have a relative moving that I promised to help this weekend. But next Friday, I will be weighing and measuring myself. Have you thought about doing that, Anastasia?
Not publicly.
No, I'm not going to do it publicly either. But I would suggest to everybody who's following this, and most people like to watch this recorded, and again, because we haven't advertised it yet, with mailers and different things that we're going to do. I wanted to wait till after her storm passes, but part of it is if you measure yourself and you weigh yourself, if you're doing this for the weight part of it and the health part, it would be good to see the results to encourage you. But you don't have to do it. It's just, it's a
Okay, Deb,
thought and
I'll
it's
tell you
something
what,
you
I'll
want to do.
do it, and then I'll tell you, like, what I lost
On
at
the
the end
list.
of the 100 days, but I'm not going to
Oh,
tell you
you
what
just
I
got out of boot camp. You look great.
No, lots of work going on. I'm under construction in so many ways.
Something funny? I even had a man write me and ask me what makeup I used. I thought that was really, really funny. Because it's just maybe we'll do a product review on makeup. Anastasia is pretty natural, but there is a product I wanted to hustle to you guys. And I've noticed a lot of people when they wear foundations, they don't wear a base, and that's what kind of gives me that glow. And there's also, I was looking at a picture of somebody, she was like pink and orange, and I was like, I couldn't believe she put that picture out there. But to get an even tone, you want to use this is awesome. It is called Revlon Photo Ready, and it is a primer. And what you do is you put it on first, let it dry a minute or two. I like 5 minutes, and then I use the Revlon Color Stay. And this particular color that I have been using is nude because I'm light skinned. And so again, Revlon Photo Ready, and this is just a primer. And you can wear this by itself. It is so beautiful. You'll have this beautiful pink glow. Sometimes if I'm going to the gym or something, I just put it on. It's like $11. It's not expensive. I've tried foundations that were extremely expensive, and these are better than they were. And this one, the Color Stay, what I like about it is I've been battling allergies really bad, and you can blow your nose 100 times and it'll come off a little bit. They'll say it won't come off, but it will a little bit, but it stays on pretty good. And Anastasia can't give you no makeup tips because she's makeupless.
No, I'm not makeupless. I don't typically wear a lot of makeup, and if you went into my bathroom, I should show you my bathroom one day. A lot of what I have in my bathroom, for the right or for the wrong, comes out of my kitchen. So, because I kind of like just go with really natural. I haven't ever worn a ton of makeup or anything like that in my life, so I'm kind of go with a little more natural look. I'm not saying I don't wear makeup because obviously I have eyeliner and mascara and a little bit of lipstick and a little bit of blush on, but that's about the extent of it.
And something else, because like I said, there are a lot of great tutorials on makeup and how to do your makeup and stuff on YouTube for those people, because I don't think our 100 Days of Consciousness is so much about that. I may do some product reviews, but you can just type in, you know, makeup tutorial, and you'll find a lot of really great things. I did go to school for cosmetology. I did not get my license because I really didn't care for it a lot. I enjoy doing makeup. I don't like cutting people's hair, and I just don't enjoy doing people's hair. So it just really just benefits me and my family. So I would say if you're really interested in makeup, go to people that specialize in that on YouTube. There's some wonderful makeup channels that's all they do is tutorials and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently.
I think too, though, Gab, like whatever you feel good about, you should I think, and that goes back to like a vibratory feeling that you have. Like if you feel good when you get the opportunity to spend some time and take some care of yourself, then do it because it's a vibratory feeling that you're adding to. And I do feel that when we take care of ourselves, or we feel we look good, we feel better, and again, that's a vibration that we send out to the universe.
Yeah, I just had a fiasco, and this is going to make Anastasia laugh. But I was getting the eyelash extensions, and my eye swelled up.
Yeah,
Last
weekend
on Labor Day, and and anyhow, to make a long story short, they had overglued my extensions, and I had to take them off. So for people who have written want to know if my eyelashes are real, of course they're not real. They're too pretty to be real. So these are ones that I did myself. I can do my own. I just choose usually to have somebody else do them. But because of that incident, I'm a little gun shy of that, so I'm doing my own right now. But again, there's tutorials on how to do your eyelashes. Anastasia has pretty eyelashes, naturally.
Honestly, I'm pretty, like I said, it's really natural. I can tell you what I use, and everybody can laugh, but turmeric is actually very, very good for your skin. I know I've already told you this. And it's a spice you can take it internally, and if you Google it online, and I don't know if you know this, yeah, but she's laughing at me. But it's actually really good for skin cancer too, taken
Yeah,
internally. It's
yeah.
actually really good. It's one of the best combaters of like melanoma or anything. But taken internally is wonderful. But also when you put it on your skin. So I use like turmeric and rice flour and lemon juice and aloe vera and that kind of thing. That's sort of like my normal skin routine.
That she's telling the truth, because we will be talking and she'll be like, "Oh, put some lemon juice on this, or throw some paprika in your hair or something." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" And so I about die laughing at her. But she does need to hawk. She has a wonderful line. She sent it to me of skin creams that she has made, and so she's selling herself short. Are you still doing that?
I haven't done, no, not recently. I will make it up for myself, like it's a skin, like a scrub and that kind of thing. I will make it up for myself, for people around me. I haven't done as much as I should. I know I need to do that more. I know there's a bucket list I have of things I need to do more of.
Yeah, there is. We had so many questions, and I was running late today because I had a lot of meetings. We will address a lot more questions on Sunday. So if you have a question for us, you can write us at 100 days, that's 100 days, at agelessknowledge.com. And you can also just leave us a message on our fan page, which is facebook.com/ Ageless Knowledge. And we've got a lot of really exciting stuff going on with Ageless Knowledge. We're working on launching a Roku channel, so we're very, very busy and very, very excited. Do you have anything else to say, Anastasia?
Well, actually, we've been talking a lot about the way we feel about how we look and whatnot. And I do actually feel that that's important to feel good about ourselves and also to feel ourselves.
Oh,
Like
I
to
thought of a
feel.
question I wanted for you. I totally forgot. Is Anastasia is an animal communicator, an animal psychic, however you want to word it. And I had asked her, I wanted if I could address a question about my little border collie, Pandy. Pandy has been misbehaving when it comes to her food terribly. She has gained 15 pounds. She will only eat her, and I'm not lying, people. This dog, she will go 3 or 4 days without eating. If it is served to her in a bowl and I do not sit and hand feed her, she'll eat 2 or 3 kernels at a time, and she has to be petted, or it has to have whipped cream in it. If my husband tries to feed her himself and hand feed her, she will not eat from him. I've literally had to come home from trips because the dog sitter said she's not eaten in 3 and 4 days, and I don't know why. She's lethargic, which can be really dangerous. She's only taken a couple licks of drink. So she's gained 15 pounds. So to get her to eat right, we had to pull the automatic feeder and put her on, food individually served. We put her on diet food, the vet recommended, but that didn't work because she gained weight and everybody else lost weight because I have 2 other dogs. So now we're doing portion sizes and cutting out her snacks and all that kind of stuff. But she's given me a time about her eating because she will only eat if I'm present in the room. So my question to Anastasia is, what is going on with my dog Pandy and her eating and bad eating and lack of eating habits?
Okay, and when I look at Candy, I feel that the dog, like we have the chakra system, and animals have a similar chakra system. We all have energy centers in our body, and I feel that Pandy's sensitive, and I would say that Pandy uses a lot of her crown chakra, and that makes her sensitive to everything in her environment, where she's at, like just really sensitive, alert, aware. But a lot of just like people that use their crown chakra and whatnot, they're sensitive to food, and they can have if you want to call it food addictions and food sensitivities. All of that's going to kind of reside in the crown chakra. So like I'll correlate it to a human being. If someone's using their crown chakra a lot, they're going to be really sensitive to like sugars or colors or dyes or chemicals in their food, and their body will react to it. So it can react to it in a weight gain situation, and then of course it sets up a whole like cycle going on, whether it's a human or an animal. And it can also, even in a behavioral situation, like I know a lot of dogs that use their crown chakra or whatever, and they get into say something with color. I had a story, and it's just coming to mind. And my friend's dog, Pepsi, was very crown chakra orientated, and he would get into Fruit Loops, and he would just like behavior wise would just kind of go ballistic after that. But what I feel with Handy is that it really, I want to say, reacting to the food. And I know that there's a lot of wonderful natural dog foods out there, but they still have things like color and that kind of thing. So you want to make sure there's like no additives to keep the food clean, and you'll find that she's better able to regulate her body or her body weight, because like animals have that natural ability to do that. And it's when they get unbalanced that they stop following that instinct. And she's really sensitive, so she'll be able to do that so much better.
So why not eating for my husband if he tries to hand feed her? Why not eating for the house sitters when they try to feed her? Why does she have to have me in the room with her for her to eat?
Because I think being a sensitive animal, like when we talk about sensitives, okay, so we're looking at, I mean, all animals are psychic, but when we look at someone more sensitive, we're going to say that the dog has a higher level of consciousness and is very much, I want to say, connected in with you, and definitely wanting to have that connection and understanding. Like what's coming to me right now is almost like understanding that, and we use food as a social thing, and it may be very social with you and very sensitive to take it just from you, and a trust thing, and the bond between the two of you is very strong.
Yeah, because she is just being terrible. She won't go outside and go to the bathroom for anybody but me, and she is just really showing herself. So my next question to you would be, how could my husband, who loves her dearly, and she loves my husband, she'll go up and sit on his lap and love on him, but how does he communicate to her that she needs to go out and mind him when he takes her, when he wants to take her out with the other two dogs, that she needs to go out with them? How does he communicate that to her?
Well, actually, we all actually communicate, I guess I'm going to say, telepathically with animals. Animals tend to communicate in pictures. Like, it's not so much words, it's pictures. So I would almost like have Fred like just sit with Candy and almost like send her a picture, like telepathically, really. A picture of trust, a picture of openness, a picture of wanting to have that bond.
So it's just really bizarre because she did it when she was small, and then she got away from it, and now she started doing it again in her old age. So I was just like trying to figure out if I was doing something wrong, if there was something that I was, doting on her too much, or doing this or doing that. But when I try to like separate her and put her on the other end of the house, she tears something up. She throws a fit. She'll chew a hole through the wall to try to get to me. I mean, she does it all.
But like dogs are a pack animal, and their pack is very important to them. Like they have their family, and she may view you very much bonded and very much, I guess I'll say, her leader, and wanting to be with you over maybe Fred, who she doesn't view that way.
All right, well, I'm going to try having him do that. I actually did a video on animal communicating, and I do communicate with her well, but I just don't know that she just, when I tune into her, I just get no. No, I want you. No, you're my mommy. No.
That's it's a very family bond. And I do think that we have specific animals. I mean, we all know it in our families, the dog is more attached to this person, and the cat, and sometimes it's extreme and intense. And just like our relationships, we can have like a friend that we're absolutely, utterly like connected to, and a friend that we absolutely adore and love, but not feeling that connected with.
Absolutely. So I'm going to try to communicate. I think instead of me trying to communicate with her, I'm going to have him try to communicate
Yeah, I
with
said
her.
like he should send her that message that he is bonded with her, that there's a trust there, or that there can be that family connection. And even in just a picture, if he's just sitting quietly with her, it's just like an instantaneous thought, and you just send it over. And Handy is very much in her crown chakra, so she's going to be able to pick that up quite readily.
Mm-hmm. Because I think maybe where I've been going wrong is I'm communicating with her, but he's not. So that's good advice from you, is to have him sit to the side and do it. And something I'd also like to remind people is when they're reading their pets and stuff, I think sitting to the side helps versus face to face. I've seen people try to do stuff face to face, and lots of times it doesn't work out because the animal will perceive you as a predator. Don't you agree?
Confrontational.
Yeah, yeah. So they really like, and it just works better. My old dog, Piggy Sue, she was a bulldog, and whenever I would go get ready to go on a trip, she would just try to tear up my luggage and just throw a fit. So I started sitting down beside her, showing her me leaving with my luggage, and then me coming home and giving her a treat and loving her, and she would howl, she'd go, woo. But you know what? She quit, and she behaved really well after that. And it's just like Anastasia said, they think in images, symbology, whatever you want, and they will only think in the terms of what they know. That's why, like, dogs that are chained up and stuff are kind of ignorant, because they've not been exposed to anything else to be educated. So to educate a dog, you really is its environment and what you teach it. And I guess with all animals, cats, horses, anything. All right, girl. Well, I guess we're going to be here at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on Sunday.
Yeah.
And what is Sunday's date? Do you know?
The 15th, I believe.
Yep. So we will see everybody then. Do you have anything else to say, Anastasia?
Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful few days in between now and then. And if I could say anything, like, be conscious of your thoughts and what your internal thoughts about yourself are and where that takes you.
And I would agree. And everybody, if you haven't watched the second exercise, if you did the first, watch the second, do the third, okay? I've got more exercises coming. I wanted to give that one a break for like a week and then post more for you guys. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching this. And everybody have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.